How do you ignite that spark within, that unstoppable momentum to make progress every single day, no matter what challenges life throws your way? That's the question that truly matters. Because life doesn't pause for the perfect moment. It doesn't ask if you feel ready. It doesn't care if you're feeling tired, unmotivated, or unsure. Life is a river, constantly flowing, with or without you. And the true secret to real success, to profound fulfillment, is ensuring you're not just moving, but actively flowing with it. Now, understand this. Progress doesn't demand monumental leaps. It doesn't need to be flashy or even obvious to anyone but you. But it absolutely must be consistent, a little bit every single day. Because the most incredible transformations in life, those breathtaking shifts, they don't spring from one grand decision or one lucky break. No, they are the magnificent culmination of small, daily disciplines, stacked diligently, consistently, over time. Most people are caught in the trap of waiting. They're waiting for motivation to miraculously strike, waiting for the right time, waiting until they feel ready. But here's the liberating truth. Motivation is a fickle friend, rarely reliable. The right time often never arrives. And feeling ready, that's a beautiful myth designed to keep you comfortable. The most successful people on this planet aren't those who started with the perfect circumstances. They are the ones who forged their progress in spite of them. They understood that action begets motivation, not the other way around. So, how do you do it? How do you keep that forward momentum when you're utterly exhausted? When life feels overwhelmingly hard? When the results aren't manifesting as quickly as your heart desires? That's precisely what we're going to explore. Not abstract theories, not wishful thinking, but real, powerful, practical ways to ensure you extract meaningful progress from every single day. Because at its core, progress is a conscious decision. And once you master its mechanics, once you learn the art of creating daily momentum, I promise you, nothing can truly stop you. This journey of consistent progress begins with one simple, yet profound, shift. You must stop negotiating with yourself. Far too many people wake up and immediately enter a bargaining session with their own mind. Should I get up early or hit snooze? Should I go to the gym or skip today? Should I work on my goals now, or can it really wait? And here lies the insidious trap. When you give yourself an option, you inadvertently open the door to an excuse. Discipline isn't about feeling like doing something. It's about making an unwavering commitment and then honoring it with every fiber of your being. Truly successful individuals don't debate whether they should follow through. They simply do. Because when you start your day negotiating, you've already conceded defeat. Your mind, by its very nature, will always choose the path of least resistance, always favoring immediate comfort over the profound satisfaction of effort. That's why relying solely on motivation is a losing game. Here's a powerful secret. The very first decision of your day sets the undeniable tone for the next 23 hours. If you win the morning, if you conquer those initial moments, you build an unstoppable wave of momentum. If you lose the morning, it becomes tragically easy to justify excuses all day long. So, how do you seize control of your entire day? You make your personal standards absolutely non-negotiable, not optional, not dependent on your fleeting feelings, just what you do. You wake up at the precise time you committed to. You move your body, even when every cell in your being resists. You actively work on your goals, even when no one else is watching, even when the immediate gratification is absent. And over time, this consistent action builds something far more powerful than temporary success. It builds self-respect. See, confidence isn't about innate talent, nor is it a stroke of luck. It's about trust. Do you trust yourself to consistently follow through on your promises? Most people, sadly, don't. They've broken so many commitments to themselves that they no longer believe their own words. But here's the incredible news. You can absolutely rebuild that trust. Every single time you keep your word, even in the smallest, most seemingly insignificant way, you prove to yourself that you mean what you say. Now, let's confront a major roadblock that derails progress faster than almost anything else: the all or nothing mindset. This toxic idea whispers that if you can't do something perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. This is incredibly dangerous because life is wonderfully messy, circumstances are constantly shifting, and if your success hinges on absolute perfection, you are setting yourself up for inevitable failure. The golden key to daily progress, my friend, is this profound truth: something is always, always better than nothing. If you don't have time for a full, intense workout, then do 10 minutes. Just 10. If you can't commit to reading for an hour, then immerse yourself for 5 minutes. If you genuinely don't feel like tackling your business, then make one single phone call. Send one impactful email. Progress, at its heart, is about motion. And even the tiniest, most incremental step keeps you moving forward. Consider this powerful principle. If you improve by just 1% every single day in a year, you won't just be 365% better. Thanks to the magic of compounding, you will be over 37 times better. That, my friend, is the astonishing power of daily improvement. Small things consistently applied add up, and eventually, they forge something absolutely unstoppable. And there's one more crucial element to unlocking consistent daily progress. You absolutely must control your focus, because what you consistently focus on inevitably expands. Most people tragically waste precious time and energy worrying about things entirely beyond their control. They fixate on what's missing, on what's wrong, on the perceived obstacles. And where does that energy go? Nowhere productive. But the individuals who make progress, no matter what they strategically choose to focus on what they can do, on what's genuinely possible. They channel their invaluable attention squarely on action, not on problems. So, take a moment and honestly ask yourself, what are you truly focusing on every day? Are you dwelling on what you can't do, or are you actively seeking innovative ways to move forward? Because progress is never a matter of luck. It is always, always a matter of conscious choice. There is an undeniable, powerful force in momentum. Once you start moving, even just a little, it becomes intrinsically easier to keep that movement going. Once you bravely push through initial resistance, you'll often realize it was never as formidable as your mind made it out to be. The tragic problem for most people is that they never reach that breakthrough point because they allow hesitation to creep in. Hesitation, my friend, is a silent killer. It doesn't merely slow you down, it stops you entirely. Think back to the times you hesitated in life. Perhaps you wanted to speak up, to share a brilliant idea, but you waited just a moment too long, and the opportunity vanished. Maybe you felt the urge to take decisive action, but you second-guessed yourself, and suddenly, the chance was gone. Progress demands decisiveness. Not perfect decisions, just decisions. You don't need all the answers before you move forward. You just need to identify and take the very next step. And the most effective way to conquer hesitation: shorten the gap between thought and action. Here's what I mean. The longer you deliberate about doing something, the more likely you are to talk yourself out of it. So, stop giving yourself ample time to overanalyze, to create excuses, to invent obstacles. If you decide you're going to do something, commit to doing it immediately. Count down from 5 and move. Don't wait for the elusive perfect time. Don't allow fear to creep in and paralyze you. Just go. Because here's the undeniable truth. Action builds confidence, not the other way around. Many believe they need to feel confident before they act. But confidence is a direct result of action. The more you do something, the better you become at it. And the better you become, the more profound your sense of confidence grows. So, if your goal is to make progress every single day, you must consciously train yourself to act despite your fears. You must get comfortable being uncomfortable, because everything you truly desire in life exists on the other side of that discomfort. Consider a rocket launching into the vast expanse of space. It expends the most monumental amount of fuel in those initial few minutes, battling gravity and breaking through the dense atmosphere. But once it breaches that point, once it's past the initial resistance, it moves with breathtaking, almost effortless speed. That's precisely how progress works. The hardest, most energy-intensive part is always getting started. Once you bravely push past that initial resistance, once you make that first move, things invariably get easier. And that's precisely why discipline is an absolutely indispensable asset. Because discipline is what carries you forward when motivation inevitably fades. Motivation is like a fleeting spark. It ignites things, gets them going, but it's rarely enough to keep the fire roaring indefinitely. Discipline, my friend, is the consistent, unwavering fuel that keeps that vital fire alive. Now, how do you cultivate this powerful discipline? By consistently keeping your word to yourself. By courageously doing the hard things, even when every fiber of your being resists. Every single time you push through discomfort, you don't just complete a task, you grow stronger. You train your mind to follow through, no matter what. And here's the profound secret. Discipline is built through the power of repetition. The more you do something, the more ingrained it becomes, the easier it feels. The first time you force yourself to wake up early, it's a monumental struggle. The 10th time, it's noticeably easier. The 100th time, it becomes automatic, an integral part of who you are. But what happens when you genuinely don't feel like doing something? What happens when your energy is low, when life throws unexpected distractions at you, when the sheer weight of it all feels overwhelming? That, my friend, is precisely when you must consciously remove emotion from the equation. Most people allow their transient feelings to dictate their actions. If they don't feel like working out, they simply skip it. If they don't feel like working on their goals, they succumb to procrastination. But truly successful people, those who make profound progress, don't operate based on fleeting feelings. They operate based on unwavering commitment. This means you show up, whether you feel energized or completely drained. You do the work, whether it's convenient or incredibly inconvenient. You take that next crucial step, whether the conditions are absolutely perfect or far from ideal. Because at the end of the day, feelings are temporary. They come and go like the tide. But results are the enduring product of unwavering consistency. And consistency is about doing the right things, day in and day out, without fail. So, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what small, impactful thing can you do today, right now, that will propel you forward? Because progress isn't a one-time event. It's a deeply ingrained habit. Progress isn't primarily about speed. It's about direction. So many people mistakenly believe they need to make giant, dramatic leaps to achieve success. They think they need to overhaul every aspect of their lives overnight. But that's simply not how real, sustainable progress works. Real, lasting progress blossoms from small, consistent, deliberate steps. Now, here's the challenge we face. We live in a world that relentlessly glorifies instant results. People are constantly seeking the shortcut, the magic formula, the desired outcome without having to endure the process. And because of this pervasive mindset, they tragically overlook the immense, compounding power of daily, steady improvement. But consider this once more. If you genuinely get just 1% better every single day, the results will not just compound, they will explode. You won't just be slightly better, you will be exponentially better, a transformed version of yourself. That, my friend, is the very foundation upon which mastery is built. Now, let's address another common trap that holds countless people back: overcomplication. Some individuals never initiate progress because they meticulously overthink every single step. They analyze, they plan, they research endlessly, but they never actually move. They convince themselves they need the perfect strategy, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions. But perfection, I assure you, is a cunning trap. It keeps you perpetually stuck. True success isn't about knowing everything. It's about bravely taking action with the knowledge you possess right now. Clarity, a sense of clear direction, always comes from movement. The more steps you take, the clearer the path ahead naturally becomes. Imagine driving a car at night. Your headlights illuminate only a few feet ahead, but that's perfectly sufficient to keep moving forward. You don't need to see the entire road to your destination. You just need to clearly see the next step. Now, let's make this incredibly practical. If you genuinely want to make progress every single day, you absolutely must have a crystal clear target. Most people don't suffer from a lack of discipline. They suffer from a profound lack of direction. They wake up each day without a precise, compelling idea of what they're truly working toward. They drift aimlessly, and drifting, my friend, leads to nowhere of significance. You must set specific, measurable goals. Not vague ideas, not idle wishes, but clear, undeniably defined targets. Instead of vaguely saying, "I want to get in shape," declare, "I will exercise for 30 minutes every single day." Instead of simply stating, "I want to be successful," commit, "I will make 5 sales calls today." Specific goals provide undeniable direction, and direction, in turn, creates powerful, unstoppable momentum. And here's something else incredibly powerful: tracking your progress. What gets measured invariably gets improved. If you don't track your actions, if you don't observe your efforts, you simply won't know if you're actually improving. And here's the crucial trick: focus primarily on tracking your effort, not just the outcome. You can't always control the results, but you absolutely can control your daily actions. Let's say you're diligently building a business. You can't control how many potential customers say yes, but you can fully control how many people you courageously reach out to. If you consistently focus on consistent action, the desired results will inevitably follow. Now, let's talk about a silent yet powerful architect of your progress: your environment. Your environment plays a monumental role in shaping your trajectory. Many people don't fail because they lack willpower. They fail because they are constantly surrounded by insidious distractions, negativity, and a culture of excuses. If you're perpetually surrounded by individuals who complain, you will, without fail, begin to complain yourself. If your physical or digital environment is cluttered and chaotic, your mind will mirror that clutter. You must proactively, deliberately create an environment that actively pulls you toward progress. If you aspire to be healthier, meticulously stock your kitchen with healthy, nourishing food. If you wish to read more, strategically place books where they are easily visible and accessible. If you seek to maintain focus, ruthlessly remove distractions from your workspace. Set yourself up to win consciously. And finally, let's discuss the invaluable quality of resilience. Because no matter how disciplined you become, no matter how meticulously you plan, life, in its infinite wisdom, will inevitably test you. There will be setbacks. There will be apparent failures. There will be days when absolutely nothing goes as planned. The crucial insight here is this: do not allow one bad day to metastasize into a bad week. Do not allow a small setback to make you abandon your noble quest. If you miss a workout, don't, under any circumstances, miss the next one. If you momentarily fall off track, resolve to get back on immediately. Progress is not about never failing. It's about never, ever staying stuck. Every single day, you are presented with a profound choice. Will I move forward, or will I stand still? And the individuals who consistently win in life, they keep moving, no matter what. Progress isn't merely about action. It's deeply about alignment. You can pour immense effort into your work every single day, but if you're moving in the wrong direction, you'll never reach your desired destination. Imagine someone paddling a boat with all their strength, their muscles burning, but they're struggling upstream against a powerful current. They're utterly exhausted, but they're not making any real progress. So here's the crucial question. Are your daily actions truly aligned with your ultimate vision for your life? Many people are incredibly busy, but they are not genuinely productive. They check off tasks, they keep themselves occupied, but they're not actually moving forward in a meaningful way. Progress isn't just about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters. Now, how do you ensure your actions are consistently aligned? You must cultivate the profound habit of reflection. Most people don't pause to think. They simply careen from one task to the next, from one day to the next, without ever truly asking themselves, is this the right direction for me? But the most successful individuals in the world, they intentionally dedicate time to evaluate. Because if you don't pause to measure your progress, how can you possibly know if you're truly on track? Think about a pilot expertly flying a plane. They don't merely set the course and forget about it. They constantly check their instruments, adjusting for subtle winds, unexpected turbulence, and unforeseen changes. You, my friend, must do precisely the same with the trajectory of your life. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated, yet undeniably critical keys to consistent progress: energy management. You can possess the most brilliant mindset, the most meticulously crafted strategy, the most impeccable habits. But if your energy reserves are consistently low, everything will feel infinitely harder. Most people mistakenly believe that time management is the ultimate key to success. But time, my friend, is utterly useless if you lack the vibrant energy to utilize it effectively. So, ask yourself, what genuinely gives me energy and what relentlessly drains it away? Pay meticulous attention to your habits, your nutrition, your sleep patterns, your physical activity. These seemingly basic elements matter profoundly. You simply cannot expect to operate at a high level if you're running on fumes, if you're perpetually tired, sluggish, and easily distracted. You must address that foundational issue first. Even small, deliberate adjustments can make a monumental difference. Consistently drinking more water, moving your body with intention, getting adequate restorative rest. These things might appear basic, but they directly, fundamentally affect your ability to focus, to work, and to make consistent progress every single day. And here's something most people tragically overlook: mental energy. You must guard your mind with the same fierce intention that you guard your precious time. Because negativity, self-doubt, and constant distractions will drain your mental reserves faster than almost anything else. Who are you truly listening to every day? What kind of conversations are you immersing yourself in? What kind of thoughts are you consistently feeding your brilliant mind? Because here's the truth. Your mental environment doesn't just affect your productivity. It profoundly impacts your core beliefs. If you're surrounded by people who habitually make excuses, you will, without fail, begin to make excuses. If you're constantly consuming negativity, you will inevitably start perceiving the world through that discouraging lens. So, fiercely protect your energy. Be incredibly intentional about who and what you allow into the sacred space of your mind. And finally, my friend, let's talk about the profound virtue of patience. Because one of the biggest killers of consistent progress is frustration. People too often quit prematurely because they don't see immediate, dramatic results. But true, lasting success is never an instant phenomenon. Think about the incredible bamboo tree. You plant the tiny seed, you diligently water it, you lovingly nurture it, but for years, absolutely nothing seems to happen. There's no visible growth above ground. But beneath the surface, silently, powerfully, the roots are spreading. A robust foundation is being built. And then, suddenly, almost miraculously, one day it shoots up, growing with astonishing rapidity. This, precisely, is how profound progress works. You might not witness the immediate results, But if you stay unwaveringly consistent, if you maintain that faith, the breakthrough will absolutely come. So, do not allow yourself to be discouraged if things aren't unfolding as swiftly as you desire. Keep going, because every single small step you take, every moment of sustained effort is building something far grander, far more magnificent than you can possibly perceive right now. Every day, you have a profound choice. Will I remain the same, or will I bravely choose to move forward? And the individuals who truly win in life, they consistently choose progress every single day. Progress is not a final destination. It is a vibrant, evolving way of life. Most people mistakenly believe they'll finally achieve happiness once they reach their ultimate goal. They hold the conviction that once they attain that success, that money, that recognition, then they'll feel truly fulfilled. But here's the liberating truth. True fulfillment doesn't come from arriving. It comes from growing. If you're not growing, you're, in essence, stagnating. If you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. And this is precisely why daily progress matters so profoundly, because it keeps you alive, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, let's talk about something that unequivocally separates those who consistently progress from those who remain perpetually stuck. Your standards. Your standards, my friend, fundamentally dictate the quality and trajectory of your life. What you choose to accept, what you tolerate, what you demand and expect from yourself. These unspoken agreements shape your entire reality. Most people fail to progress because they inadvertently set their standards far too low. They tolerate inconsistency. They accept flimsy excuses. They allow themselves to settle for mediocrity. But the individuals who consistently grow every single day, they courageously raise their standards. They refuse to settle for merely doing enough. They reject half-hearted effort. They demand excellence from themselves, not because someone else is watching, but because that is intrinsically who they choose to be. So, with deep honesty, ask yourself, what are your true standards? Are you holding yourself to a level of discipline, focus, and unwavering effort that will undeniably lead to real, measurable progress? Or are you, consciously or unconsciously, making excuses for yourself? Because at the end of the day, your results will never, ever exceed your standards. Now, here's something that's just as vital as effort. Rest. This might sound counterintuitive. How can resting possibly help you make progress? But here's the profound truth. You cannot sustain high performance without adequate recovery. Progress isn't about working yourself into exhaustion. It's about sustainable, intelligent effort. It's about knowing precisely when to push fiercely and when to strategically recharge your vital energy. Because if you continuously burn yourself out, you will inevitably stop making progress. If you're constantly exhausted, your productivity will plummet, your creativity will vanish, and your body will eventually break down. So, consciously carve out time for rest. Make time to reset, not as an excuse for laziness, but as a sophisticated strategy to go further, to achieve more. Think about it like a world-class athlete training for a grueling competition. They don't train at maximum intensity every single day. They strategically build in recovery periods because they inherently understand that the body grows stronger during rest. Your mind operates on the same principle. Your energy levels are governed by the same wisdom. So, intentionally build restorative rest into your life. Meticulously take care of your mind, your body, and your energy. Because progress, my friend, is not a sprint. It is an epic marathon. Now, let's discuss something that will elevate your progress to an entirely new dimension: giving back. One of the fastest, most powerful ways to truly grow is to help someone else grow. To generously teach what you've learned, to lift someone else up, to illuminate their path. Because progress, in its highest form, isn't just about you. It's profoundly about impact, about contribution. And the more you give, the more you undeniably grow. Think about a single candle lighting another candle. It doesn't lose any of its own flame. It simply creates more light, more warmth in the world. That's precisely what happens when you generously share your knowledge, your hard-won experiences, your cultivated wisdom. And here's something fascinating. The act of teaching something forces you to truly master it. It deepens your understanding, solidifies your concepts, and ultimately makes you even better. So, as you intensely focus on making progress every day, don't just think about what you're gaining, profoundly consider what you're giving. Because that, my friend, is where the real, enduring fulfillment genuinely comes from. And finally, let's talk about the single most important mindset for lifelong progress: gratitude. See, most people become so fixated on what they don't have, on what's missing, that they completely forget to appreciate the incredible blessings they do have. And when you constantly focus on perceived lack, you begin to feel like you're never quite enough. But gratitude, I assure you, changes absolutely everything. It powerfully shifts your focus. It makes you realize how much you've already grown, how far you've already come. Every single day, take a mindful moment to deeply appreciate your progress, even if it feels small, even if it's not yet precisely where you aspire to be. Because when you cultivate genuine gratitude for the progress you have made, you create the unshakable mindset to keep going, to push further, to reach higher. So, here's the undeniable bottom line. Progress is not about luck. It's not about passively waiting for the stars to align or for the perfect moment to magically appear. It's about making a resolute decision every single day to move forward. Not perfectly, not instantly, but consistently. And if you commit to that, if you wholeheartedly commit to getting just a little bit better, just 1% better, every single day, your life will transform in ways you never even dared to imagine. At the end of the day, progress is a decision. Not just once, not just when you feel like it, but every single day. Because life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It moves relentlessly, whether you move with it or not. And the people who truly win, the people who grow, the people who meticulously build extraordinary lives, they don't wait for permission. They don't wait for a burst of motivation. They decide. They act. They move forward, no matter what obstacles appear. Now, let's be honest with ourselves. Some days, it's going to feel easy. You'll wake up energized, hyper-focused, incredibly inspired. You'll feel like you can conquer the entire world. But what about the other days? What about the days when you feel utterly exhausted? When life feels overwhelmingly complex? When the desired results aren't materializing fast enough? And you start to quietly wonder if it's even worth all the effort? Those, my friend, are the days that matter most. Because anyone can move forward when the path is smooth and easy. What truly separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the indomitable ability to keep going when it's undeniably hard, when you don't feel like it, when no one is watching your efforts, when the progress is painstakingly slow and the work feels profoundly uncomfortable. That is when true character is forged. That is when unstoppable momentum is meticulously created. That is when your magnificent future is shaped irrevocably. Because here's the profound truth you must internalize. You don't magically rise to the level of your ambitious goals. You invariably fall to the unwavering level of your ingrained habits. And if your habits are built around excuses, around paralyzing inconsistency, around perpetually waiting for the right time, you will, tragically, never fully reach your magnificent potential. But if your habits are meticulously built upon discipline, consistency, and a relentless commitment to daily improvement, you will become absolutely unstoppable. Because progress is not about blinding speed, it's about unwavering direction. One step forward, even a tiny, seemingly insignificant one is still undeniably forward. And those consistent, accumulating steps, they add up to something truly extraordinary. So, with clarity and resolve, ask yourself, what's one thing you can do today, right now, that moves you forward? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because the truth is, you don't need another motivational speech. You don't need to read another book or watch another video before you begin. You already possess the inner wisdom. You already know what you need to do. The only question that truly remains is, will you do it? Because the only genuine way to fail is to stop. So don't stop. Not today. Not ever. Move forward. Every single day. No matter what. Because your incredible future is waiting patiently for you to claim it.